All right, guys. Venn diagrams with three circles. Here we come. So it's the same approach as us using two circles. We want to read out information, and then we want to fill in the information from bottom to top. After that, we can answer the questions. Three of the most dangerous risk factors for a heart attack is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking. In a survey of 690 heart attack victims, or heart attack survivors, my apologies, 62 had only high cholesterol among the three risk factors, 36 had only smoking, and 93 had only high blood pressure. 370 with high cholesterol, 159 with high blood pressure and cholesterol that didn't smoke, 23 that smoked and had high cholesterol but did not have high blood pressure, and finally 585 had at least one of the risk factors. Draw Venn diagrams to represent this information and use the answer in the following questions. How many survivors had all three risk factors? How many had exactly two of the three risk factors? How many had none of the risk factors? All right. In this case, we can see that we have three circles, because we have for cholesterol, blood pressure, and we have for smoking. Cholesterol, blood pressure, smoking. Let's label those. Okay, next thing is identify a universal total, and that's going to be 690 heart attack victims. I keep saying victims, my apologies, survivors. So negative for me. My apologies, guys. Heart attack survivors. 690 survivors. After you identify your universal total, you want to read your list from bottom to top. The first piece of information I'm going to read is 585 had at least one of the risk factors. If you watched the previous video, at least means that number or more. So saying at least one equals one risk factor or more. So 585 of my respondents can have one factor, two factors, or three factors. Or means union. And union means to combine all the sets together to form one overall set. If I'm saying I have one risk factor, two risk factors, or all three risk factors, I'm saying that 585 will be the sum. Will be the sum of my circles. So the sum of my circles must equal to 585. And if that is true, which it is true, we can find the outside total. Remember, we have 690 survivors in total. 585 people will be the sum of my three circles. Therefore, to find the outside part, I can subtract the 585 from the 690. 690 down here minus 585 equals to 105. And these 105 people did not have none of the risk factors. And 105 goes here on the outside, 105. And also, we just answered the last question. How many had none of the risk factors? 105 survivors. That answers that last question. Horrible box, but whatever. Okay, we took care of that. Now we can answer the next questions. 23 that smoked and had high blood pressure, that smoked and had high cholesterol, did not have high blood pressure. So smoke and had problems with the cholesterol. That is going to be right here, but did not have high blood pressure. This area right here, cholesterol problems, they smoked, but they did not have high blood pressure. That is going to be 23. $159 with high blood pressure and cholesterol that didn't smoke. That is going to be right here. They had high cholesterol and high blood pressure, but they didn't smoke. And that's going to equal to 159. Okay. You see it says 370 with high blood pressure. That 370 represents the entire circle of high blood pressure. Excuse me, of high cholesterol. My apologies. This 370 represents the entire circle for high cholesterol. So that entire circle must equal to 370. However, I don't have enough information to find out how many I'm missing. Yes, I know how many I'm missing, but I don't know where to put the numbers at. So I'll come back to this one. I'm going to keep going. I'll come back to the one that's highlighted in green. 93 had only high blood pressure. If it had only high blood pressure, that will go right here. For only high blood pressure. 93. And that gets crossed out now. 36 only smoked. That's going to go right here. 36 only smoking goes right here. And the last one, it says 62 only had high cholesterol among the 3 risk factors. And that is going to go right here. 62. But now, if you look, we can now answer. We can now look at this part right here, the one that I highlighted in green. 370 had high cholesterol. Therefore, I can add up the 62, the 159, and the 23 inside of my highlighted circle in green and subtract that from a total of 370 to find out how many had all 3 risk factors, which will go in the middle. Let's go ahead and do that. Open up my calculator. Okay. 62 plus 159 plus 23 equals 244. Now I can subtract that 244 from 370. 370 minus 244. And that equals to 126. And I'll put that right here, 126. And if you notice, this 126 right here has all 3 types of factors. Therefore, that answers the first question, 126 survivors. So we answered the first question, and we answered the last question. Let's answer the second question, but first we must fill in the rest of the Venn diagram. Okay. Now, remember, I have 8 sections in my Venn diagram. The outside has been filled, and 6 of the pieces in the inside of my circle has been filled. I'm just missing this part right here. So, remember, the total the sum of all of the circles in my Venn diagram must equal to 585, as discussed earlier. Therefore, I can add up all the numbers inside of my circles, subtract it from 585, so I can find this missing piece right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's add up all the values inside of my Venn diagram. Well, I know the total for cholesterol, which I already found, is 370. So I can start there. 370 plus 93, which is going to be for high blood pressure only, plus 36, which is going to be for smoking only, equals to 93 equals to 499. To find the missing piece here, I'm going to take my 499 and subtract it from 585. So 400, turn off my highlighter. 499 585 minus 499 equals to 86. Yep, and 86 will go here. And now I filled in my Venn diagram. My Venn diagram has been completed. And I already answered the first and last question. So now I can just answer question 2, the second question. Let's clear everything. Now, how many had exactly 2 of the 3 risk factors? 2 of the 3. That would be the 159 that is right here. Because these 159 people, they had high cholesterol and blood pressure, but they didn't smoke. So that's 2 of the 3 risk factors. Or it can be the 23, which is right here, because they had high cholesterol and they smoked, but did not have high blood pressure. So I'm going to add 23. Plus the 86 right here, because the 86 right here had high blood pressure and smoked, but these people did not have high cholesterol. And when I add those together, that lets me know how many survivors had exactly 2 of the 3 risk factors. Plus 23 plus 159, and that equals to 268. And that is the answer to my question. And this is how I fill in my Venn diagram. Okay, guys. Hope you guys understand how to fill in this Venn diagram. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Follow the same steps when you're completing your homework, and it should be a piece of cake. And I'll see you soon. Take care.